Hi there everyone, Rob here with your severe tropical storm Haikui update. Currently blowing over the Okinawa Islands, now pushing off there towards the west. The storm has already brought some very gusty conditions out across the island. Actually reported here today from the Japan Meteorological Agency, winds up to about 104 kilometers per hour, about 50 knots, and a little bit greater than that have been reported there across Okinawa, actually out of the air base, the American air base there, in Kadena, 39 knot winds of peak wind have been recorded as well. Now some of these outer rain bands are still pushing across the island, so bringing yet more severe conditions through your overnight hours. And you actually see here on the radar imagery, you have some of these very heavy feeder bands being pulled out of that warm water down there towards the south, running across the islands. These are really going to be where the worst weather is currently going to be located. Actually, you can see some of these areas in the darker reds. That's indicating up to about 50 to 80 millimeters an hour possibly could be falling here on the island. So definitely here through your overnight hours, just basically sleep through your overnight hours. Try to stay indoors. Don't be venturing out here on your Sunday night because conditions are definitely going to be continuing to get worse, even though that center of circulation is just there towards the west. Now a lot of those heavy rain bands are going to be pushing on shore. So if you are watching this here through the early morning hours on your Monday, definitely watch out for that. But if you are watching this now into the Monday afternoon, conditions are going to be improving as the storm continues to track off there towards the west, moving away from Japan here off towards the eastern portions of China. Now, where is the storm going to be going? Well, it does look like it will be making landfall somewhere around the Zhejiang province just south of Shanghai here as it continues to track in that westerly direction before kind of stalling out right near the coastline. I do kind of agree with this model now. I was talking about it kind of lingering just off the coast before, but now I do really think it is going to be making that landfall before it stalls out. Unfortunately, this area is going to be getting a very heavy amount of rainfall, not to mention the fact that there's still going to be moisture pulled in from the south here, affecting the southern Japanese islands as well. So a very wet week in store indeed as the storm continues to push off there towards the west. So definitely not out of the woods quite. This is even the current track from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, calling this storm a tropical storm by JMA standards, though a severe tropical storm that's about 50 knots and above. Currently, though, pushing up there towards the west, they do expect this to intensify up to a typhoon right about in this location before making landfall into about the mid part of this week on Wednesday and Thursday, just south of Shanghai here. Shanghai, though, you're still going to be getting seeing some heavy rainfall as it does continue to do so. Now, this is the model consensus, kind of several variations of the models out here, including the black track rating here. That's Joint Typhoon Warning Center. They're kind of recurving towards the north, following that general consensus, but once again, most of these storms continue to stall out there. By that time, though, I do expect this also to start to get wrapped up in kind of an upper-level trough in the region, so a lot of stuff's going to be happening, but the main point is that as the storm does stall out here, a lot of that precipitation is going to get stretched out towards the north and towards the south, and this region does not need it. Let's look at the trim satellite over the past week, and I guess the first thing you're going to be noticing is this absolutely large blob of just heavy rain across much of the western Pacific. Well, the Madden-Julian oscillation really has been firing up here, and we just know that this entire region has been getting drenched, and now this is about the fourth storm in less than a week, so the Philippines do have been actually smacked here, Taiwan, and some of the eastern portions of China, and especially around Beijing, where the floods have killed over 40 people in the past several weeks alone. So lots of rainfall here, and yet if another storm makes landfall here around Shanghai, I do think that flooding is going to be of serious threat, especially urban flooding. Some of the low-lying areas are really going to be seeing that threat of that water just continuing to pile up. And also some of the hilly areas, there's always that threat of landslides, which we have seen in China alone. A little bit farther towards the west, in about the past week, there has been several reports of deaths and a lot of roads collapsing. You have those roads that are built on the hillsides are really kind of poorly built, and that typically leads to the risk of landslides out here. So you have to deal with all these conditions and take them all into account once we start watching some of these tropical systems. So at this time, though, expect the winds at least to start to die down throughout your overnight hours into tomorrow morning there in Okinawa. Unfortunately, I do think the rain's going to continue to occur, especially you see these very nice bandings coming around the storm system. I say nice as in good formation, a little bit drier influence from the south, from the north, but from the south, definitely some moisture being pulled in, so this is just going to help that storm intensify. Very high chances going to make it landfall there south of Shanghai as a significant typhoon. So definitely going to continue to watch that here. And also, I want to talk about here down towards the Philippines, especially around Manila. We have some rain pushing on shore. That is going to be bringing some hazardous condition and talking about urban flooding. You can see here from Project NOAA, the radar in the Philippines here, lots of heavy rain bands already have been pushing on shore. I have been hearing some people talk about out of Quezon here, some heavy rainfall, low-lying flooding within their local areas. So I strongly suggest if anybody has any photos or any video coming out of these areas of the floods today and yesterday, I definitely do share them here. I'll try to put them into a video update by tomorrow morning. So definitely got to be watching that as well through overnight hours, even though this is not directly related to any significant tropical systems. Still is bringing that flooding landslide threat and definitely could be dangerous at times. This is the 48-hour map from the Japan Meteorological Agency. Elsewhere across the Western Pacific, we are still watching Haikui here. A monsoon will flow down there towards the south. A tropical depression expected to become a tropical storm off here way towards east, actually out near the international date line, but this is getting pulled off towards the north. I expect that to continue to run away from land masses. But as far as Japan, high pressure really dominating here. It has been absolutely hot and muggy. Temperatures soaring above 30 across much of the country here. Actually, nearly about 2/3 of the country have seen 30 degrees the last several days and above, so this has actually been rather dangerous here, and this is actually looking at about 1500 Japan Standard Time, so earlier on in the day on your Sunday afternoon, especially anybody trying to hit the beaches out here for the summer holidays. Well, at least you did be able to get out there and enjoy that, especially here in mainland Japan. Unfortunately, a little bit cooler down here towards the south. That's because of the tropical storm hitting there. And also cooler off here towards the north. We all have that cold current that runs in here. That portion of Hokkaido actually stays relatively cool. You only see the highs right here between 15 and 20 degrees. So a little bit cool there, but much of mainland Japan, including Tokyo, you have absolutely been baking in the heat here. Definitely do want to run the AC, but a lot of people trying to save that electricity here as power is kind of being of a short supply. That is all for right now, everybody. Thanks again for watching here at WesternPacificWeather.com. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. Always appreciate the feedback. And on another note, please follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Robert Speta. And if you have any photos or videos coming across the entire Western Pacific, not just these areas I talked about today, always you can share them with us. We'll get them into our video updates here. But please stay safe out there throughout the rest of your day. And enjoy your summer. All right, bye.